Good old Nickelodeon. It was the place where John Kricfalusi resided, giving us the dark humor and the wonderful antics that became the Ren and Stimpy show. It was the place for good cartooning, great times, and wonderful memories by all. But Nickelodeon's popularity is starting to plummet. Its finished state is being compromised by its entrance into a new era of cartooning. But hey, I'm just...
In my generation, in my generation, in my generation, baby. In my generation, in my generation, in my generation, in my generation.
Whilst Nickelodeon was giving us the classic live-action shows such as Are You Afraid of the Dark, it had its own share of cartoons known as Nicktoons. Here are the good points. First, the very first Nicktoon ever created was Doug. I'm sure you've all heard of Doug at one point of your life. Doug was a great cartoon and it incorporated that successful Saturday morning cartoon feel. Following Doug was the production of the Rugrats and the ever-popular Ren and Stimpy show, both of which becoming staples of the Nicktoons franchise. The Rugrats I admire for their focusing on the baby characters' perception of the real world, and I like Ren and Stimpy because of its degeneration to hilarity and surrealism. But I digress. There were many other classic cartoons that appeared on Nickelodeon, and I will state them in no particular order. Rocko's Modern Life, Hey Arnold, The Angry Beavers, The Wild Thornberrys, Cat Dog, the early SpongeBob SquarePants, not the current crap we have today, Rocket Power, As Told by Ginger, and Invader Zim. All of these cartoons were instant classics. It had made me cherish Nickelodeon as a truly exceptional cartoon show. However, Nickelodeon is now churning cartoons that are second-rate and made at the last minute, simply to appease either the immature kids demographic or because they feel it is necessary to make loads of money off of half-finished cartoon crap. Here are the bad points. First, when SpongeBob SquarePants appeared in the scene, I at first thought it had a form of innovation to it. It had a dynamic plot, yet featured insane mental retardation, kind of paying homage to Ren and Stimpy in that aspect. However, as the years went by, SpongeBob began to lose its appeal. SpongeBob degenerated into a retarded, highly idealistic sponge that literally enjoys pissing the hell out of everyone within a 5-mile radius. I tend to think of SpongeBob as a sadist now, because he deliberately makes everyone feel like they want to kill themselves when he finishes moving his gums. SpongeBob becomes more retarded by the hour, and this turned me away from the cartoon. Other new additions to the Nickelodeon maelstrom include The Fairly Odd Parents, which is a fairly, excuse the pun, good show, but I never really got into it. The X's, which I think failed as a good show, Jimmy Neutron, idiotic dunderhead. Seriously, making cartoons out of respectable movie franchises destroys them. I will get to that later. Back in the Barnyard, again, stripping the classic appeal of a movie, Mr. Meaty, which was way too boring and surrealistic for my tastes, and finally, All Grown Up, a sacrilegious slap in the face to the Rugrats and to the roots of Nickelodeon. Making the Rugrats teenagers literally counteracted all interest I had in the Rugrats franchise, and it was one of the main reasons I would never watch Nickelodeon again. After Invader Zim, I felt Nickelodeon was pandering to a thought-up demographic in which Nick believed that everyone likes half-finished cartoons with partial animation, bad plot development, and highly overused body excretion jokes. At least it's not a total mess like Cartoon Network, where CN sold its origins to obscure networks. But still, Nickelodeon forgot what got them there. They even tried to be more successful by altering their past classics in order to appease the newer generation out there. The result? The fantastic failure known as All Grown Up. And another thing. Nickelodeon's live-action programming is starting to fall into the toilet. It had classic live-action shows back then. The Adventures of Pete and Pete, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Salute Your Shorts, and a whole bunch of other original awesomeness. Now Nick has to make way for everything and anything created by Fred Schneider. Wait, not Fred. I mean Dan. Yeah, Dan Schneider. And let me tell you, seeing the same style of live-action shows over and over again makes Nick monotonous and ugly to look at. After watching Drake and Josh, I figured they did an alright job. A good joke here and there, some good physical comedy, it was an alright show. Then came the spin-offs. iCarly looked exactly like Drake and Josh, and what I hate seeing is shows that replicate other shows in terms of jokes, style, and actors, by the way. Seeing a million copies of Drake and Josh on Nickelodeon makes the network stupid, unoriginal, and just plain annoying. By the way, Zach and Cody, stop being Hannah Montana wannabes. That was Nickelodeon, and that was my generation.